Hey y'all, it's cold outside, so if you want to learn how to make some chicken corn noodle soup, keep on watching. Alright y'all, so this soup is super quick and tastes so good, and it's literally one of my favorite recipes that my mom makes. The thing that I like about it, that it tastes so good and it's so filling, and it also warms you up. What I'm doing right now with my little paring knife, not anything fancy, I'm just cutting up my celery into nice diced pieces, and I take a small onion and I slice it. If you want to dice your onion, you can do that. However, my mom always sliced hers, and that's how I like it, so that's how I'm doing it. However, you can't go wrong with either way. All right, so we're going to take our chicken thighs. They have been washed already, and this is skin on, bone in chicken thighs. You can use whatever chicken, part of the chicken that you would want. My mom always used chicken thighs, and that's what I'm using. And I'm just going to throw my thighs in water, add some salt, pepper, and butter, and that's going to be the beginning of our broth. And keep in mind, that's about 6 chicken thighs that I'm using for this recipe. All right, so now that our chicken is done, we want to take it out of the broth, and just make sure that you turn your broth off, because as we pick our chicken, get the skin and the bone and the fat and everything out, our broth is going to sit, so we can skim the fat off the top of that. So make sure you let your broth cool down as we separate our meat. And as you can see, I just have 2 forks, and I'm just kind of going ham, getting the meat off of the bone. I'm really funny about fat and gristle and skin and all that kind of stuff, so I actually take my time with this part. So yeah, you'll see me really like going in and like performing surgery, making sure I'm getting all of the meat off and make sure I'm not getting none of the fat or the skin or the gristle. And as you can see, this is the final outcome. This is from 6 thighs. I mean, I'm sure I could have fought more with that, but I'm good. And as I told you, we just skim the fat off of the top. I don't have any fancy gadgets to get the fat off the top. Using my spoon is just fine for me. All right, and I just brought my broth back up to a boil just to get our onions cooked. I should have held off on adding the celery because they got done super fast, but I mean, it was fine. I just know for the next time. And because our water cooked down some, I just added 4 cups of chicken broth to add to the broth that we already made, but you can skip this step if you want to, if you just want to add more water, butter, and seasonings. All right, so just adding 1 bay leaf. To this, I could have used more. It's all good. And some crushed garlic. Keep in mind that this is your pot of soup. You can add your favorite seasonings in whenever you want to. I'm just adding a little bit of Italian seasoning, and I'm going to add some onion powder in as well. All right, so while this is finishing up, I'm adding my frozen corn, and as you can see, my onions are starting to get done, and corn doesn't take long. While that is cooking, I just had some boiled eggs going, and now I'm just slicing my boiled eggs. I know a lot of people, if you're not used to this, you've been missing out, but trust and believe that this is definitely needed to make your soup bomb. And my mom always sliced hers this way, so this is the way that I'm going to slice mine. But keep in mind, if you want to dice, feel free. All right, so we're just going to add our chicken to the broth now that it's just about done. All right, so with our broth back up to a boil, we're just going to add our egg noodles to the broth. And these are a bit thicker than what I'm normally used to. It was fine. It just took a bit longer to cook. So keep that in mind, depending on how thin or how thick your noodles are. Now I'm just going to add just some sugar to my soup. I mean, I know y'all might be looking at me sideways, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to steer you wrong. And now I'm just going to gently add my eggs. and some parsley into the soup just to get everything all together. And yeah, just gently mix everything together because we don't want to really break our eggs up too much. Yeah, so just let everything finish marrying and let our noodles finish cooking. And bam! Thank you so much, Mom, for giving me your recipe, and I hope you guys try it. You can tweak it as you want, but thanks so much for watching.